Every temple in Ocarina of Time seems to be based off another type of building. The Shadow Temple, for example, is a mausoleum, the Fire Temple is a jail, and the Spirit Temple is a shrine of worship. The Forest Temple, however, looks like a mansion, which isn't exactly what you imagine when you hear the word temple. Despite the Forest Temple being a mansion, it has a very disturbing past which allowed it to become a temple. The Forest Temple is located in the back of the Sacred Forest Meadow. This place is, according to Saria, home to the spirits of the forest. The Sacred Forest Meadow is divided into two areas, a maze and the Forest Temple itself. The entrance is blocked by a large gate, which can only be opened by killing a lone Wolfos. Considering Hyrule's bloody history, which is detailed in the torture chambers in the Shadow Temple, it seems like the Forest Temple was used as the final stronghold during the Hyrulean Civil War. This war took place before the events of Ocarina of Time. The temple could have been used as a final resort to defeat the invaders of the land. Invaders would first have to get through Lost Woods, then through the small maze in the Sacred Meadows, and then pass through the narrow passage leading up to the temple itself. While these invaders were trying to get through, the defenders would be able to snipe the invaders using the higher ground in the maze and the passage leading to the temple. When all else failed, the defenders could retreat to the actual Forest Temple, which is only accessible using the stairs. Higher ground is always more advantageous, especially if you're defending. The Forest Temple is now mostly destroyed. Perhaps the invaders made it into the Forest Temple. This would explain some of the crumbling architecture and the reason why the stairs leading to the temple have been destroyed. More so, if the invaders managed to make it inside, they would have most likely slaughtered everyone. This explains why the temple is haunted by ghosts and ghouls, the remains of the souls of these people. Eventually, these souls managed to obtain magic as they aged, creating twisting corridors, falling ceilings, and rotating rooms. The Stalfos that you fight inside could have been the old guards, long dead, but who still protect the mansion. Also notice when you first enter the temple that you see 4 female ghosts who take the torches that power the elevator. You have to find them and lay their souls to rest in order to progress through the temple. The question here is though, who are these 4 ghosts and why do they continue to linger? We know from the game that these are sisters, Joelle, Beth, Amy, and Meg. Every sister besides Meg has a portrait somewhere in the temple. These paintings have all been charred black, like they were supposed to have been destroyed. Portraits usually belong to nobles, which means these 4 ladies were once the masters of the mansion. The sister that doesn't have a portrait, which is Meg, can be seen crying once her 3 sisters have been killed. So why do they persist to haunt the temple instead of moving on? The game tells us that a Poe is a spirit of pure hatred. This indicates that something terrible must have happened to the Poe sisters that has caused their hatred to live on. Now, considering all the soldiers in Ocarina of Time are male, these 4 women may have been brutally raped, tortured, and murdered. Thus, they continue to haunt, waiting until they can extract their revenge on someone, which happens to be on Link. After killing everyone at the mansion, the invaders left. Since the temple had been abandoned, the temple gradually starts to crumble. The souls of the killed residents and soldiers start to rise, and overgrowth starts forming on the walls. The staircase leading to the temple has been destroyed, either by the weather or by the invaders, preventing anyone from ever entering again. The ghosts of the people that have been killed in the mansion have turned into forest spirits who are being appeased by Saria. After Ganondorf comes to power though, he releases these spirits who immediately turn onto Saria and trap her until the eventual arrival of Link.